You give them everything, and they take it. You think you are being moral, but you are actually being a victim. Being nice isn't a virtue. It's a survival strategy born of fear, and it is ruining your life. Welcome to the dark side of psychology. Today, we are performing an autopsy on a personality type that society praises, but reality punishes. The nice guy. If you are watching this, you probably feel a deep, gnawing sense of injustice. You follow the rules. You help others. You sacrifice your own needs to keep the peace. You believe in a specific social contract. If I am good to people, they will be good to me. But looking at your life, you realize that contract is a lie. The people who are selfish, the people who are aggressive, the people who prioritize themselves, they seem to get the promotions, the respect, and the partners. Meanwhile, you get ignored. Or worse, you get used. We are going to dismantle the nice guy syndrome. We aren't talking about genuine kindness here. We are talking about compulsive agreeableness. We are talking about the inability to say no. We are going to look at this through the lens of dark psychology, utilizing the insights of Niccolo Machiavelli, Carl Jung, and Robert Greene. You will learn why your niceness is actually perceived as weakness. You will learn how manipulators identify you within seconds of meeting you. And most importantly, you will learn how to integrate your shadow, that dark, repressed side of your personality, to command genuine respect. This is not a video about becoming a villain. It is a video about becoming formidable. Because, as we will discuss, a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a dangerous man who has his danger under voluntary control. Let's begin with the diagnosis. We have to be brutally honest here. The defining characteristic of the nice guy is not goodness. It is fear. Dr. Robert Glover, who wrote extensively on this subject, describes the covert contract. The nice guy operates on a hidden barter system. He thinks, I will do this for you, so you must do this for me. But he never states this contract out loud. He hides his needs. He pretends to be low maintenance. And when the world doesn't pay him back in the currency of love or approval, he becomes resentful. This is where the darkness begins. The nice guy is often filled with a seething, repressed rage. He's angry because he feels cheated, but he is cheated by a contract that only he signed. Friedrich Nietzsche, the German philosopher, spoke about slave morality. He argued that many people claim to be good simply because they lack the power to be bad. If a rabbit does not eat the wolf, is the rabbit virtuous? No. The rabbit is simply a rabbit. It lacks the capacity for violence. Virtue requires capacity. If you are nice because you are afraid of conflict, you are not virtuous. You are harmless. And in the eyes of dark psychology, harmlessness is an invitation for exploitation. Consider the etymology of the word nice. It comes from the Latin word nescius, which meant ignorant or unaware. Historically, it wasn't a compliment. It evolved to mean precise and eventually agreeable. But in the primal hierarchy of human interaction, being exclusively nice signals that you are low status. It signals that you are willing to fold. When you prioritize making everyone else happy, you are signaling to the tribe that your resources, your time, and your energy are free for the taking. You are signaling abundance, but not the good kind. You are signaling that you have no boundaries. Psychologically, this behavior stems from a childhood adaptation. Usually, the nice guy learned early on that to be loved, He had to be compliant. He had to hide his flaws. He had to be the good boy. He learned that conflict results in abandonment. So, as an adult, he views any form of disagreement as a life or death threat to his emotional safety. This is why you apologize when someone bumps into you. This is why you laugh at jokes that offend you. This is why you agree to do favors that you hate. You are terrified that if you show your teeth, even for a second, the love will disappear. But here is the brutal truth. People do not love those they can walk all over. They might like having a servant. They might find you convenient, but they do not respect you. And without respect, there is no true attraction, and there is no power. This brings us to Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, and his concept of the shadow. Jung argued that every human being has a shadow, the unconscious side of our personality, where we store our repressed desires, our aggression, our selfishness, and our capacity for malevolence. The nice guy spends his entire life trying to cut off his shadow. He wants to be pure light. He believes that if he suppresses his anger and his dark thoughts, they will disappear. But Jung warned, the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. When you repress your capacity for aggression, it doesn't vanish. It festers. It turns into passive aggression. It turns into sarcasm. It turns into sudden, explosive outbursts over trivial things. Or it turns inward, becoming depression and self-loathing. Manipulators, narcissists, sociopaths, and Machiavellians are experts at spotting a man who is detached from his shadow. They can smell it. How do they do it? They look for the fawn response. In psychology, we know fight or flight, but there is a third response to threat. Fawn. This is when you try to appease the threat to stay safe. When a manipulator tests your boundaries, perhaps by making a rude comment or asking for an unreasonable favor, they are watching your reaction. The nice guy will smile nervously. He will justify the rude behavior. He will say yes to the favor. In that moment, the manipulator knows this person has no shadow. They have no defense mechanisms. I can take everything. You become a target because you are safe. You are predictable. A manipulator knows that no matter how poorly they treat you, you will try to fix the relationship. You will try to be nicer to win them back. This is the trap. You are feeding the predator your own dignity, hoping he will eventually get full. But predators are never full. To stop this, you must integrate your shadow. This doesn't mean becoming evil. It means acknowledging that you could be dangerous. It means recognizing that you have teeth and you are choosing not to bite, rather than not having teeth at all. Jordan Peterson famously discusses this. He argues that you should be a monster and then learn to control it. Why? Because if you are incapable of cruelty, your morality is accidental. But if you have the capacity for mayhem, if you are strong, sharp, and capable of saying no with force, and you choose to be kind, that is true virtue. That is power. When you integrate the shadow, your body language changes. You stop smiling compulsively. You hold eye contact longer. You become grounded. And interestingly, people stop trying to manipulate you. They sense that there is something behind the door, a sleeping dog that they shouldn't wake up. Now that we understand the internal psychology, let's look at the external strategy. We turn to Niccolò Machiavelli, the father of dark psychology and political realism. In his masterpiece, The Prince, Machiavelli asks a fundamental question. Is it better to be loved or feared? The nice guy is obsessed with being loved. He sacrifices everything for affection. Machiavelli's answer is a splash of cold water. It is much safer to be feared than loved, because love is preserved by the link of obligation, which, owing to the baseness of men, is broken at every opportunity for their advantage. But fear preserves you by a dread of punishment, which never fails. Now, do not misunderstand. In a modern context, fear does not mean terrorizing your family or coworkers. We are not talking about being a tyrant. In the context of social dynamics, fear translates to respect and consequence. To be feared, in the Machiavellian sense, means that people understand there are consequences to crossing you. It means they know you have boundaries that cannot be violated. The nice guy has no consequences. If you disrespect him, he forgives you immediately. If you are late, he waits. If you insult him, he laughs. Therefore, there is no dread of punishment. There is no risk in mistreating him. To cure the nice guy syndrome, you must become comfortable with the idea that not everyone has to like you, but everyone must respect you. Respect is higher currency than likability. When you are respected, people value your time. They value your opinion. They seek your approval because it is not easily given. The nice guy gives his approval away for free. He hands it out like flyers on the street. And just like those flyers, his approval ends up in the trash. The integrated man, the man who understands Machiavelli, makes people earn his approval. This shift changes the dynamic of every relationship. When you stop chasing love and start commanding respect, you flip the script. You stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Do I respect them?" This is the essence of high-status behavior. You must be willing to let people dislike you. In fact, if you are standing for something, if you are pursuing your own mission, some people will dislike you. That is the cost of being an individual. The nice guy tries to avoid this cost, and in doing so, he loses himself. You must accept that friction is necessary. Friction creates heat. It creates energy. A relationship without friction, where one person is constantly submitting, is dead. It is boring. Women, in particular, often find the nice guy repulsive, not because he is kind, but because he is boring and safe. There is no tension. There is no challenge. By adopting a Machiavellian stance, prioritizing respect over affection, you reintroduce that necessary tension. You become a person of substance, not just a reflection of what others want you to be. We have covered the theory. Now, we need to arm you. How do you actually stop being the nice guy in your day-to-day life? How do you operationalize this philosophy? We are going to look at 3 specific tools from dark psychology and Robert Greene's 48 laws of power that you can use immediately to shift the balance of power. Tool 1. Strategic absence. Law 16. Robert Greene's 16th law is, use absence to increase respect and honor. The nice guy is always present. He is always available. He replies to texts instantly. He clears his schedule the moment someone asks. In economics, we know that the more abundant a commodity is, the less value it has. If you are always available, you are cheap. You need to cultivate scarcity. You must learn to withdraw. This isn't about playing games. It's about having a life. When you are focused on your purpose, your work, or your gym routine, you are naturally less available. Do not apologize for this. When you are unavailable, people start to wonder about you. What is he doing? Who is he with? This creates mystery, and mystery creates attraction and respect. Stop being an open book. Stop vomiting your every thought and feeling to anyone who will listen. keep some things to yourself. Let your absence be felt. As Green says, you must learn when to leave. Create value through scarcity. Tool 2. The willingness to walk away. This is the nuclear weapon of negotiation and relationships. The person who is most willing to walk away holds all the power. The nice guy is terrified of the relationship ending. Therefore, he has zero leverage. The manipulator knows this. They know you will tolerate anything to avoid the breakup or the firing. You must develop the mindset that you will be okay alone. You must build a life that you enjoy, so that having others in it is a luxury, not a necessity. When you genuinely convey, through your actions, not just words, that you are willing to walk away if your standards are not met, the dynamic shifts instantly. The other person realizes they can lose you, and human beings value what they can lose. If you cannot walk away, you are a slave. It is that simple. Tool 3. Mirroring disrespect. The nice guy turns the other cheek. The integrated man uses a mirror. When someone is passive-aggressive or disrespectful, do not let it slide. But you don't need to explode in rage. You simply mirror their energy. If they take 3 days to reply to you, you do not reply in 3 seconds. You match their cadence. If they make a sarcastic comment, you do not laugh. You hold silence. You look them in the eye and let the silence hang there. This is a social check. It signals, I saw what you did. It didn't work. And I'm not amused. Silence is a powerful tool of the dark triad. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it with nervous chatter. The nice guy babbles. The powerful man is comfortable in the void. When someone disrespects you, pause. Look at them. Say nothing. Let the pressure build. Let them squirm. Usually, they will backpedal or apologize. You have established dominance without raising your voice. We have covered a lot of ground. We've looked at the fear behind the mask of the nice guy. We've explored the shadow. We've discussed the necessity of being feared rather than loved. And we've armed you with the tools of scarcity and silence. But I want to leave you with this final thought. The goal is not to become a cold, heartless Machiavellian manipulator. That is just another form of weakness, a reaction to trauma. The goal is to become a king. A king is kind, generous, and protective, but only to those who have earned it, and only because he chooses to be. A king has a sword, and he knows how to use it. That is what makes his kindness valuable. When a weak man is nice to you, it means nothing. He has no choice. When a dangerous, powerful, respected man is nice to you, it means everything. You need to kill the nice guy inside you so that the good man can be born. You need to stop seeking validation from others and start validating yourself through competence and discipline. Stop agreeing when you disagree. Stop saying yes when you want to say no. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Start integrating your shadow. The world does not need more nice guys. It has plenty. The world needs strong men. Men who have boundaries. Men who demand respect. Men who are capable of navigating the darkness without being consumed by it. This is your wake-up call. The contract you signed, I will be nice and you will love me, is void. Tear it up. Write a new one based on respect, power, and reciprocity. If you found value in this analysis, if you are ready to leave the nice guy behind and step into your true power, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this message needs to be heard. And if you want to go deeper into the rabbit hole of dark psychology, manipulation defense, and human nature, make sure you are subscribed. We are just getting started. Stop being nice. Start being real. I'll see you in the next video.